What's up, everybody? I'm Nate from Fairly Awesome Podcast, and I'm here with Ryan McDowell, my brother Josh Bushing.
What up?
And we are going to be talking a little bit about Steam and the latest development, such as Steam OS. Yes. So, this was announced very recently, in last Tuesday, I think. Is that right?
I think so. I mean, certainly this past week.
Yes.
Yes. So certainly headline news.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the big news is Gabe Newell wants to get rid of Microsoft. That's what he wants to do. He wants to make his own.
Leave
operating
Microsoft?
system. Yes, he did.
He used to be a programmer for them.
Yep, he used to. I think he actually worked on Windows. Believe it or not, I think back in the day. Yeah. So the irony is palatable, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
So those that don't know what Steam is,
Yes.
Steam is like a distribution platform for PC gaming.
Actually, Ryan, you're wrong. It is actually what is produced from water vapor when you boil it.
Sweet Jesus. Right. So yeah, it's a distribution for PC software, and it sort of is far and away the best one that's out there.
Yes.
For sort of getting software to you. Like normally you had to go to the store, even for PC games, and go buy a physical CD or DVD or whatever.
Yep.
And then take it home, install it, or the dreaded it runs from disk, so you get while it's reading from the disk, and it sounds like it's going to warp 9 inside your computer. Anyway. So SteamOS, what Steam did is it was an app that you installed on your PC, and it just basically was a downloader for these games. You still paid roughly same price unless they had Steam sales, which is one of the big things that Steam is known for. Right. So not only do you get excellent, don't have to go to the store, convenience. Sometimes they even have sales on some of the old nostalgic games that maybe you wouldn't go pick up if you were just perusing through Best Buy or whatever, but some of these are ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're like $5 for a game, or some of them are cheaper than that because they'll do $5 for a package of games.
Yeah, like from all the manufacturers. Yeah. It's crazy.
Right.
And these are old school AAA titles as well as some of the new ones.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes they do like half off of
really new games.
Right.
Yeah, like
6 month to a year old games.
Yeah.
They'll do like half off, which is huge. I mean, you don't get that really unless you buy a used copy for any of the consoles. So on PC side, yes, it's more expensive to get a proper rig going that can run the modern games at all the highest frame rates and stuff. But on the other side, you can sort of feel good about your software because if you're using Steam, you can
use it anywhere.
Right, you can use it anywhere
with an internet connection. Right. So one of the I guess this SteamOS is a tail end on what they released. I think last year on Steam, which was Big Picture Mode.
Yeah.
Which was the idea that you could plug your computer into your TV or whatever, and you could use your Xbox controller or any other controller, peripheral, plugged in, and you'd run this in big picture mode. So basically you have the interface interactability, so it's easier to see from farther back, like you're on the couch and you want to play games. And a lot of games are supported with controller now, and they actually have little labels that say this is fully supported by controller, so you can control it completely from the back with what you have now. Well, this Steam
sort of console mode.
Yes, it is exactly. Yeah, I mean, there had been rumors for a long time that there was going to be like a Steam box, and that this is kind of that next step in kind of more competition with consoles, I guess, is where they're going with this. But so basically, SteamOS is going to be an operating system all around. I mean, it is designed to work with Steam, like what we base your entire operating system experience around the game and the store and everything.
Now, from what I have read so far, is it's not actually a full OS, right? It's like a lockdown mode on Linux.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like a.
It is locked down though, because I didn't know
that's my understanding. Is that it's like a Linux that is. Or it's an installation of one of the existing versions of Linux that has it's almost like your phones, like the HTC interface on a, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
it's like a skin for Linux.
It's like a skin for Linux. Yes.
But you can't get to all the same system stuff, right? So it's your OS, and you can configure some stuff, but only what SteamOS lets you get to.
Right.
Gotcha.
But I think it's pretty interesting that they're doing this. Now, one of the things that first comes to mind is a lot of people use Steam on Windows. right?
Yep.
So if this is a Linux box, how's that going to work?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Gabe has been very anti Windows 8 since since its announcement. He felt like it was a step in the wrong direction. So he's been very antagonistic towards this. So
Is that because of the
walled garden? It's the walled garden.
Microsoft's trying to do what Apple's doing, and setting it up so that you have to be a part of their like application
exactly. It takes control away from Steam because Steam tried to be the walled garden, and so now you have walled gardens working against each other. Now the problem I see is in the past Linux has been notoriously bad at having game support, right? Because DirectX, we have compatibility and drivers and lots of things like that. This is why things like iOS and Windows have been great because it's a walled garden, so you know that you have these certain amount of tools to play in, right? To use to build where you're going to run. So when you have that, when you have Linux, for instance, the platform is more open. It's like Android. We have the same thing with phones where, not quite as many developers want to make applications for that, So
but there's no market for it.
Right.
There's a market for certain applications, but it's limited, and a lot of people and developers want that capital that they can collect on.
Yes. So I think
I have heard what their plan is for how they're going to do Windows games that aren't compatible on Linux now.
Really?
They're going to Gaikai it. They're going to stream it. So it'll be processed on like Steam remote servers and then streamed to you a la go to my PC style.
Oh, wow.
Now, I don't know about you, but this is the same method that Gaikai for Sony Vita or the PS Vita and the Vita TV are talking about doing that allow you to play, let's say, PS4 games or PS3 games on a Vita.
Right.
The idea is that it will be processed somewhere else and then streamed to you. It's an interesting concept because it allows you to just, all you have to do be able to do is have a controller and a screen that can run the right resolution.
Yeah.
The processing power happens elsewhere entirely.
Wow.
The issue with that is, one, bandwidth, right?
There's some latency issues there probably, right?
Right, the latency is what has me. The bandwidth, I think you'd be fine.
Yeah.
It's the latency, right?
Unless you lived in a rural area or something.
Even
it's like,
input lag, right?
That's what I was thinking.
That's horrible. I mean, you can get it on computers still now. I mean, it's rarer, but you still get that mouse lag or, if it's not developed right.
I mean, imagine if you had like two computers. You had one sitting across a room from you, and it's your beast, and you got a netbook, There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way that that's going to be the same experience. Could you still run it? Yes. Well, can you run, Crysis on a cracked out netbook? I suppose at 2 frames a second you could.
Maybe now, 6 years later after Crysis, but it's still
NVIDIA's trying that kind of stuff with their handheld. Yeah, but not just the Shield though, but they had with the Asus Transformer. They had a thing that they were showing they could plug in and
play anywhere in the house
as long as you're connected to your wireless network.
I don't know.
The streaming stuff just doesn't... I don't think it's there yet.
No.
Like, the infrastructure is getting there, but I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah, I agree.
So, these kinds of concepts and what they're trying to do, and I think that they're releasing some sort of thing with their Steam box.
Yeah.
And, like, a list of stuff that will go in, like, entry level, and they're going to have, like, a section tier for the different... the different things.
Well, wait. Describe what you're talking about, because I haven't heard this yet.
Yes.
This is exactly what I was going to suggest. I was going to say SteamOS doesn't make as much sense as what I originally heard as the Steam
They said
box.
that something about the Verge had, and I don't know when this was, and it was last week, maybe Thursday or Friday or something, was talking about a Steam box, and that they had 3 different tiers of entry level type stuff, or to buy in. So you had this like entry level machine, and then like a better machine, and then the best machine or something. But all of that's supposed to be interchangeable, and it's configurable to the user however they want to spend it to fix it.
See, this is exactly, maybe with a few tweaks, what I would have suggested would be the thing that Steam needs. Clearly, gaming is at its pinnacle on PC, right? Versus consoles, versus handhelds.
Yeah.
Gaming is at its pinnacle on PC. The issue is buy-in costs are like 3 or 4 times higher than a console. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, not as much anymore.
I don't think it's as much anymore.
Yeah, you can get
because you can build. I mean, you can even get a standard kind of PC at a local Best Buy. Throw in a decent graphics card in it, and you'll be fine.
$600, yeah, maybe, and you got
Easy.
a high end.
Yeah,
well,
easy.
maybe not high.
Depending
top
on
of
how
the
much you
line.
spend on a video card, you can be decent.
You will max games though. I mean, that's the thing is because of how long the console cycle went on, the power
Now,
difference.
you can't walk out of Best Buy with a PC for less than $450.
A standard desktop that you
Yeah,
could throw
not
in
even freaking bottom of the barrel PC
Yeah.
at a
as
Best
long
Buy.
as
You
it
can't
has
get
the
out of
option
there for.
to add.
No,
that
I'm just
card.
saying you cannot get
Yeah.
out of there for under 400 or 450. They don't have anything less than that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? They don't have $300 PCs there.
Not anymore.
They have
They don't even
netbooks.
carry
They
as
have
many.
netbooks.
You
That's
You
that
have
price.
regular
That-
$250, $300 for
A desktop?
a laptop.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But you're
laptops
not
are-
gonna be changing the video card in that.
No.
So I'm saying for what you're suggesting, it is much higher than you think. I think it's right around 1,000 that you're talking about for a PC that has the amount of storage you're looking for, the amount of memory you're looking for.
Especially if you're buying everything
all of
fresh,
that
like
stuff
monitors
is-
and everything.
Right, the monitor adds some cost.
Right.
But you can get a decent sized monitor with HD on it for $150, $200.
Yeah. 1920.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's so
and anymore, honestly, your TVs are high enough fidelity
that you could just
right.
run it straight through. Yeah.
Right. I mean, on this one, 720p. But I mean, if you
No, this is actually
1080.
This is 1080. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I know you can get 27-inch or 32-inch for somewhere in the 200, 300 range. So, yeah, I mean, it does. When you look at a package of what you walk away with, although I don't know that you can really throw in monitor with the price of the PC, right? Because
Yeah.
when you look at it, you get a console, you're not throwing in the price of your TV on
No,
that either.
yeah, right,
So
right.
I think we can say that that's out. But when you look at how often you have to upgrade stuff to continue to run at the highest, the input costs are still higher than console by a pretty good margin.
That's true.
Not less than before, I'll agree.
Yeah.
But one thing I think that they should do is the Steam Box. And they're talking about tiers here, and I think it should be a standardized unit, right, that has cooling out the yin-yang.
Right.
Doesn't even look like a normal tower. And they use hot swap slots for things, and I don't even know if it's possible, but this is what I envision would work out best. They get a very limited list of vendors that they ensure 100% compatibility with,
Yep.
right? Meets their standards in this configuration with whatever setup you want. And you're going to want that vendor list to be very small. You pick one graphics company that you partner up with. And if you're going to do two, then you better make sure that it works flawlessly.
EVGA.
Right, something. You either do, NVIDIA or you do ATI.
You're saying like a modular designed.
That's what
vessel
I'm saying. I'm saying
that you can just.
That's
Right,
even
you don't have to
easier,
worry
yeah,
about-
hot swappable.
you don't have to worry. Like when you change a hard drive with an Xbox, right?
Yeah,
At
like
least
that easy.
at least on the 360 first gen.
Right. Which
It
is
just
like click,
popped
click,
off the
yeah.
top, right?
Done.
You didn't have to worry about static or doing the bracelet or whatever for static. And some people
Right,
don't
right.
worry about that when they're changing out their memory anyway. Some people still fry their PCs doing that. But if you did it modular, so that this thing took like little almost cassettes, let's say,
Right.
that has your memory in it. And it's
Click, done.
Right. It knows, okay, take this thing and it goes down and puts it into the memory slot or whatever, and same with the graphics core. If it's hot swap, like it has to be off, for this to happen. Clearly you're not going to be doing this while it's on.
Yeah.
But let's say you had the box, right? And the entry cost was like $300 or $400 or whatever. And then you've got to pick up your components, a tier 1 core, a tier 1 memory set, and tier 1 graphics card. Right,
That's kinda interesting.
You
Yeah.
take those three things: the core, memory. I guess you got to have storage in there too, so 4. And you just pick and choose what you want. The beauty of this solution, if that can even work. Maybe I'm talking the impossible here,
Right.
but if that can work, and you don't get with any combination. And then on the boxes now, they're going to be programming to that standard. So when they say this now requires
Tier
Steam,
1.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
Steam tier 1 core, tier 2 memory, and this much storage space. If they did
It
that,
simplifies it
they-
even more.
They would,
I mean,
they would rock the PC side of this, right? Because the standardization would go through the roof, and they would get their walled garden that they've been wanting.
Yeah.
I do think that they probably have to go Linux though to be able to pull this off. Otherwise, your
paying out the
base
cost,
price, right?
yeah,
your base
for
price
Windows.
just rockets up for Windows license. But you're still talking not that much because you can still get netbooks with Windows on them for pretty dirt cheap.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. In my opinion, SteamOS is pretty interesting. They do have a controller
Yes.
that they're making
Yes.
for SteamOS.
Yep. And
That is really
interesting.
It is really interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this, but
I don't either. Yeah, with the button placement. But anyway, so these sticks are actually
touchpads.
what do they call what they call them, actuators, or I don't
They
know.
have very
They have a weird Star Trek-y name for it. Something resonant cascade actuators or something. I don't know. But either way, yeah, these actually are sensitive and they have haptic. That's what it is. It's like haptic feedback on it.
for these.
And they've been,
sensors.
they've been experimenting with this since like the Novin Falcon, which was a device that basically looked like a pod thing, kind of
Oh,
like
I know what you're
drafting
talking about.
tool,
That-
almost like, and you could like move around with the mouse on it, and it, I guess it actually had it, like bumpy surfaces would feel bumpy because it would like push against on certain parts, so you could almost feel that. And they had a trigger.
update for the like a trigger.
Yeah,
thing.
so it's like
clear the-
Half-Life. You could play with a
actually
gun and
use
actually move the
feel
gun around. Yeah, but either way, so they've been interested in this kind of thing for a while.
Now the button layout. You see where the X... I'm going to have you point here.
No, that's fine.
The X,
Yes.
Y, and then B, and then A. What the hell were they thinking?
I don't know. about that.
Okay, all controllers since Super Nintendo
Have always been
have had your
ABXY.
have had them all on the right side. If they even want to go to a quad pattern like a squared pattern like this, okay, but they're all on the right side.
Yeah.
All the buttons. You look at the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, even the Sega controllers. All the buttons are
So
on the
you
right
can
side.
still move.
Right. Have you tried like free gaming and then hitting the back button with your thumb? That sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't know
lose
whether this is.
control.
I don't know
Yeah.
if maybe they're thinking that you're gonna play like that doesn't even make sense. I was gonna say like what with your fingers on it or something like this. You move around like this and then use the thumbs, or I don't know. That doesn't really make sense.
More likely,
Especially
I mean,
for
they've
people
got
with toe thumbs.
You can the triggers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that there's some sort of trigger.
Yes,
That kind of
yes.
looks like a button there too.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like
there are Vita-like touchpads on the back.
There are.
Okay.
Yeah.
is that
yeah.
what that is? Maybe, or is that because it kind of looks like a trigger type of thing?
No,
if
they're
you've got
not.
a couple of different triggers, like 2 pads up here and then some
Yeah,
triggers.
there's
and then
shoulder
maybe
buttons.
a couple
They're
of these or
like
something.
squared off shoulder buttons.
Couple of these.
couple
and
of
are those,
couple of these.
Jeez.
But maybe it might work. I don't know. I'd be willing to give it a chance.
Yeah, I
put
think
it
it'll be interesting. And the question is, what's this controller going to cost? With this sort of technology, are we looking at $100 controller? Because you look at the
That's
Xbox,
expensive.
you look at the Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
That's $70.
Yep.
Right, and it is not this high tech.
That's true.
You look at the Wii U controller. What is that? 120?
Oh, for the game
Because it's got
pad.
a screen in it.
Yeah, the
right?
screen.
A full
What is
HD
this?
screen,
What is
too.
this right in the center? I mean, it's not as big as the Wii U controller, but that is a full.
It's kind of.
It's a screen.
It's kind of Dreamcasty.
Little bit.
Little
Little bit.
Dreamcasty.
Little dream.
No, but so this I'm assuming is a chat. The Steam has its own built-in chat, so I'm assuming you can click that and bring it up, and maybe this is your options menu. But it's very, very interesting looking for sure. These don't know what these do at the bottom either.
Programmable
Start
kind of a
programmable
things,
buttons.
The only thing I wish that there was another picture that showed like somebody holding it, so I knew relative size, because these look retardedly big, right? Like where you're
I
not
don't know.
ripping
I
it.
think it's just the way that the shot is. 'cause
Maybe.
it's
Yeah,
It's either going to be really small because those
it's
buttons.
probably
I
Xbox
think
size.
it's
Let's be
Xbox
honest.
size, maybe a little.
Maybe not the Duke.
Right, the big flying saucer controller. It's about as big as this table.
Yeah.
You're like, X.
You're playing Simon Says with it when you're over there
Right.
trying to hit it.
Simon
Yeah.
Says.
Right.
Also,
So
could
anyway,
be an alien starship from
Yes, it could
Independence Day 2.
Who knows? This could be.
Roland Emmerich, sue them.
This could be an awesome controller, but I do think we've probably talked. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we sign off?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay. One thing. Would you get this? Like, would you get SteamOS and a PC? Maybe not Steambox. Say if they just released the OS, and would this get you into PC gaming, Ryan?
I don't know. Like, I have a PC that is totally capable, but the issue is, would I erase that? Because I don't have two, right? I don't have two desktops, right? I've got my laptop. I've got a desktop. The desktop is running Windows. Would I wipe that to install SteamOS? I don't think so.
See,
I don't think I would.
I think I would.
But you're also a bleeding edge kind of guy.
You know what? I wouldn't wipe my computer. I would probably set up either a second partition on the primary hard drive,
Just to try it, at
just
least.
to try it,
Yeah.
or probably get another hard drive to install it to, and see where that goes.
And then you fiddle around with which one's master and.
Well, and then just have like a boot protocol that tells me like when it
I see.
starts
I gotcha.
up.
So, maybe I might do that. Throw in a cheapo
Hard
cheapo
drive,
hard
just
drive.
try
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I mean, I would try it, but getting me to switch operating systems, and
hard.
I've been Windows, my entire life with it, like running my main PCs. Always, I'm not a Mac guy or anything like that, and that's a lot to ask anybody to do, especially with it being so early for this too. Like the support has got to be there. They have got to make this they have to prove that this is the optimum platform for gaming. Regardless,
Yeah, I do
drivers,
other things with my
support,
computer.
everything.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have a hard time getting rid of stuff that I like to do within Windows. If I can browse the internet with SteamOS, can I, or is it just gaming, just walled garden, Gabe Newell awesomeness?
Yeah.
Then maybe. But
You know what I would do? Virtualized. I would do virtualized SteamOS.
it's like
for
boot
it.
to DOS mode kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
if I
you
could
just-
run it windowed in Windows, right? If I could run this.
Man.
I put your walled garden inside of
My
there's an
walled
exhibit
garden.
meme coming up here
Yeah.
somewhere.
You'd have a OSception, is what you did. You would just
Are we an OS within an OS within an OS? Oh my god.
that was the sound of my mind breaking right there, exploding.
You made a mess of the TV.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, all right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up, you guys. I think we've talked this one to death. So let us know in the comments below the show if you liked anything on this, and if
Would you switch?
Yeah, would you switch? Is SteamOS interesting to you? Is that controller from Star Trek sound cool too, with the actuators and resonance cascades and all that fun stuff? Yes. I don't know how I mixed Valve in there too.
That's a Half-Life.
Half-Life, yeah,
Star
that's what it was.
Trek.
So, if you like anything, leave us notes in the show, and be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's facebook.com/fairlyawesomepodcast, and follow us on Twitter at FAPcast. I'm Nate. We'll see you next time.
Like, I think even though there's only 3 of you, I think it still looks okay with a little centered on everybody.
Chris is like a little centered on everybody. It's on himself. It's like, hey.
This looks best, really.
I think right here. So you guys go ahead and talk. He's like.
Alright.